Hey, this is Evergreenhorn Gamer and welcome to another episode of StarCraft Introductions. Today we're gonna talk about picking your race. So StarCraft has three very different races. One of them is Terran, and then Zerg and Protoss. So each of them has unique abilities. Their playstyle is very different, they have their strengths and they have their weakness as well. So let's just run through of some brief introduction of each race. So Terran is basically humanity in this game, and they represent a fairly balanced playstyle, and in general building their units and structures are much more similar to other real-time strategy games. For example, if you played Age of Empires, pretty much the same. You build some structure and the structure can produce you some units. On the other hand, Zerg is this monster-like creature, and what is unique about them is they have this hive mindset, and they have hives from which they produce larvae. Now, these Zerg can morph from larvae, so the basic unit, and they can morph into any different units, which is really interesting that they stack up these larvae and they amass a huge force later in the game. So you can really feel like you are controlling the swarm. On the other hand, we have Protoss, and Protoss is like this highly intelligent and highly advanced race. Each of their units costs slightly more than the other races, but they tend to be slightly stronger as well. You might like it if you like this shiny blue protective playstyle. For example, if you're playing World of Warcraft and you play Alliance, definitely you would like Protoss. So in general, what I could recommend is play the race which you can feel more familiar with, because, well, in highest level it doesn't really matter. You have pro players of each of the races separately, so you can master any race that you would prefer. Some of them even play random, which means every game they are taking a random race and they are going to fight with that random race. It is important though that each of the races have their unique abilities, their unique hotkeys, and the unique playstyle. So obviously it is easier for you to focus on a single race and master it than trying to focus in each of the races separately. So my pick will be Terran, and the reason is I believe this is the most mind game heavy race in the game. Why? Because you cannot really take someone, at least to my experience, you cannot really take someone face on and fight them in a unmicroed fight, because you will most likely lose. On the other hand, Terran has a lot of sneaky units and abilities to use some dropships to ambush their opponents in their base, which I kind of find quite funny, quite interesting, and hard to execute as well. If you're more about rushing your opponent with tons of units, endlessly producing and then eventually overwhelming them, pick Zerg. And if you feel like you want to build a single army which is strong enough to defeat anything in its way, then pick Protoss. Basically, that's it.